In the deep hours of night, when man is left alone with his soul, a peculiar unease begins to stir. It is not hunger, nor fear, nor even desire. It is the weight of unrealized potential, the dull ache of a self yet to be born. And in this silence, where all distractions have perished, begins the journey of personal development. But what is development? The term is everywhere, as overused as it is misunderstood. Is it productivity hacks? Waking up at 5 in the morning, or is it more than that? Something darker, deeper, something that cannot be captured by morning routines or goal-setting templates. It begins with a kind of despair. Yes, despair, for how else can man rise if not first brought to his knees by the crushing realization that he is not who he could be? Fyodor Dostoevsky, whose soul burned with questions no priest or scientist could answer, understood this better than most. His characters were not heroes in the usual sense. They were often sick, paranoid, crippled by guilt, yet they reached, through their suffering, a strange kind of salvation, a personal resurrection. Raskolnikov, in Crime and Punishment, believed himself to be a great man. He dreamed of becoming a Napoleon. He rationalized murder with cold logic, but logic is never enough. It was his guilt, his spiritual disease, that ultimately saved him. What began as arrogance ended in a breakdown, but from that breakdown came something resembling a soul. This is the first lesson. Personal growth begins not with pride, but with confession. With saying, I am not well, I have lied, I have pretended, I have drifted from myself. In the eyes of the world, this may look like weakness, but in truth it is the soil from which all strength grows. The modern world shuns this soil. It wants speed, not depth. It tells us to perform, not to think. We are sold affirmations to cover our fear, filters to hide our shame. But the real self cannot be improved by cosmetics or slogans. It must be unearthed, even if the process breaks us first. Dostoevsky's Notes from Underground gives voice to the man who refuses the simplicity of progress. He is bitter, contradictory, aware of his own rot, and yet he is free, because he knows. He knows what most do not even dare to whisper, that man is not a rational creature. He is wild, paradoxical, full of spite and longing, capable of miracles and monstrous crimes. And so the second lesson emerges. Do not seek to become a machine. Do not reduce yourself to systems and metrics. Personal growth is not about optimization. It is about confrontation, about wrestling the angel in the darkness of your own mind. When we speak of unlocking inner potential, we must first ask, what chains have we placed upon ourselves? Often it is not society, not our families, not fate, but our own cowardice that binds us. We do not wish to see what we are capable of, because true power always demands a price, and that price is the death of comfort. Do you truly want to grow? Then prepare to suffer, not because suffering is noble, but because it is inevitable. To change is to lose parts of yourself. The old habits, the convenient lies, the false identities, they must die, and they will not go quietly. But understand this, suffering alone does not ennoble, it must be made conscious. In The Brothers Karamazov, Ivan speaks of a world without God where all is permitted. He is brilliant but hollow. His suffering has no anchor. In contrast, his brother Alyosha embraces humility, love, forgiveness. He too suffers, but he suffers with meaning, and that makes all the difference. So here is the third lesson. Meaning must guide transformation. Do not seek growth for vanity. Do not pursue greatness for applause. Let your striving come from a deeper place, from the part of you that yearns for truth even if it burns. There is a quiet revolution happening. You may not see it on social media. It happens in silence, in journal pages, in walks taken without phones. It is a return, not to tradition or progress, but to essence, to what it means to be human. And to be human is to be divided. You will always have contradictions. You will want to improve and to remain the same. You will crave freedom and structure, love and solitude, truth and denial. Personal development in its deepest form is not about eliminating contradictions, but learning to carry them, to live with them consciously. How? Begin with honesty, brutal honesty. Write down everything you avoid. The habits, the memories, the fears. Let them out of the cage. Name them. Dostoevsky believed that unspoken shame grows into madness. So speak, if not to others, then to yourself. Next, cultivate solitude, not loneliness, solitude. Dostoevsky wrote his greatest works in exile, in poverty, often near death. Yet he discovered there the sacred silence in which the soul speaks. Put down your phone, sit in stillness, do not run. Then act. Yes, act! For knowledge alone is not enough. The underground man knew everything and did nothing. He rotted in his own brilliance. Do not be him. Begin, even if you are afraid, even if you stumble, especially if you stumble. Take small, defiant steps. Read with depth, not speed. Train your body, not for vanity, but for discipline. Speak the truth, even when it costs you, and return again and again to your inner world. Let your actions align with your conscience, not your impulses. And finally, cultivate love. Not the sentimental kind, the kind that forgives even when it is not deserved, the kind that Dostoevsky saw in Sonia, the fallen girl who reads scripture to a murderer, the kind that sees the divine even in the broken. Because without love, personal development becomes pride, and pride is the enemy of growth. You do not need to become someone else. You must become more fully yourself. Not the self that conforms, or pleases, or performs, but the self that remembers, the self that once dreamed, that once cried out for something beautiful, something sacred. Personal development is not a destination, it is a lifelong unfolding. You will fall, you will regress, you will doubt everything, but if you persist, quietly, faithfully, without the need to be seen, you will become dangerous. Not in the cruel sense, but in the radiant sense, because you will be unshakable. And so I leave you not with steps or hacks, but with an invitation. Go to your room, close the door, ask the question you've avoided for years, and then listen, not to me, not to the gurus, not to the noise, but to the whisper that is your soul calling you home.